You have no idea how screwed we are. We've got a lot of issues going on here in the United States and really globally. We have infrastructure problems. That's really the heart of a lot of it. Infrastructure, resources, and that all causes a lot of chaos. So, to start with, we all every day have to use electricity, lights, we have to use things to cook with, run our water, etc., right? This is the way we live now. I mean, you can't do anything without electricity in modern society. But here's the problem. We are super vulnerable as it is with our grid. I can't even begin in one little video to just go over all the issues we've got. So to start with, it's estimated in the United States, if 7 substations were to be taken out, the grid for the whole country could go down. There would be no electricity, and the ability to put it back up is next to zero. That sounds wild. That doesn't sound believable at all, does it? Here's the thing. We are in a grid that is really just a bunch of random wires strung together like Christmas tree lights, connected all with plugs trying to run 20 Christmas trees with one strand of cord. It's pretty wild. We have here in the States a lot of power generation that takes over for other power stations when power goes down. And you have to generate the power, and then you have to get it the right voltages and amps running on many lines. And when you do this, you have to get this big orchestra of power running. It can be, a little complicated. And here's the thing. There's key parts of this grid, substations, that have transformers and, upgrade, downgrade power. That if they get taken out, these things cannot be built overnight. They are expensive, very expensive. A lot of the parts are not from the United States, and they take time to build. So, for example, let's say for whatever reason, natural disaster, these things go down, right? And you have to get all new parts, all new equipment, et cetera, et cetera. Well, a lot of these come from China on the other side of the planet, okay? So how long would it take to rebuild and do all this stuff? Well, there's only so many people who are even able to repair these things and build them out. A lot of this stuff is electricians that travel across the country to go put it all in. And then you have on top of that, if these things go down, there won't be any power to do anything else to repair them, okay? So imagine that you're the guy who has to repair these substations. And, for starters, you get a message, an email, a phone call saying, hey, we need you to come over here and we need you to fix this. And you say, okay, well, I'll get there as soon as I can. But then you get everything set up. You try to go online to set up a hotel for you to stay in. Can't get on the internet. You try to go to the gas station. They're rationing fuel because they're having a hard time, producing it at the, oil processing plant to get it there. So you have a hard time traveling. And then your cell phone goes down because the power's been out for so long. The cell towers no longer have power for generation. Whew. And then traveling is a nightmare because people have, abandoned a lot of their cars on the road and they're making it hard to get there. And then also, on top of it, if you're getting past a week, it's hard to get a hold of food now too because all of the freezers inside the grocery stores have stopped working and all the meat is now, rotten and people are eating all the other food and you can't get a hold of that food either. So this guy who has to go repair these key pieces of infrastructure, right? he's almost practically fighting a war just to get to the place where he needs to go to be able to repair all this stuff and then, get the grid back up so people don't destroy themselves. It's kind of crazy. And this is just one way that things can go sideways real quick. And I don't think a lot of people understand all this. And now there may be other people who are experts who will tell me a lot of details about how much worse it could be, or maybe I'm slightly off on some stuff, but I'm very sure they'll back me up that this is relatively correct on how it works. I'm just trying to make a short video right now, give you a really brief idea of the situation we're in. And so, hey, you got this grid thing. This is just one. What I'm trying to get at here is this life, right? We live in amazing times. We have so much luxury. We have so much wealth, not in like money, but in all the things we have access to. Human history's never had this. This is amazing. And look, you need to start thinking about this system may just not just keep running the way it is forever. It's, this is this is an exception, not the norm for 10,000 years of human history. And there may be, times where we revert back. But here's the problem. No one here in the United States knows how to live like our great-grandparents did. It would be, very hard for a lot of people. Now, I've spent my life learning how to live like people did 100 plus years ago. I can do it. I'm practically doing it now. And it is a lot to learn. The things that I have learned about gardening, construction, vehicle repair, how to just, get by with getting water and getting food. This stuff takes 5 to 10 years to learn all of it. And usually people in the past, they had to learn it as children from their parents all the way up into adulthood. It was, a 10-year process of learning as a child by being there. So what do we do? Okay. I'm in the younger demographic. Maybe you're in a younger demographic. If you want and you're young, you can start learning this stuff and you can start trying to figure out how to, I guess people call this being a prepper, right? But really, it's just living like people have always lived in human history and learning how to take care of yourself. So I have a strong view, take personal responsibility for your life in everything, right? It does a lot for you, obviously, if a disaster would happen, but also it gives you mental strength, right? Mental fortitude. And I think it even hardens your spirit. So tell me, guys, what you think. If you're interested in this stuff, if you want to learn about any of these things, if you want to discuss this more, or tell me I'm crazy and that it's not a big deal, what I'm talking about with just the grid in itself, then do that too. But hey, either way, have a good day. Bye.